In this video, we're going to be looking at how to find the broadcast address. In the agenda, we're going to quickly go over what is the broadcast address, the magic rule of 256, and a couple of examples. So why do we need a broadcast address to begin with? Well, from a source that I took this off of Wikipedia, the definition of a broadcast address is it's a network address used to transmit to all devices connected to the multi-access communication network. A message sent to a broadcast address may be received by all network attached hosts. So essentially, in layman's terms, is that this address is being used to send out protocol information to the hosts in the network. It's kind of like a reserved address in the network, and this address is used for maintenance slash management, no more like maintenance purposes to keep updating hosts on the network. So, for example, if 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 a host doesn't have an IP address and it's being assigned automatically by the router, it doesn't have an IP address yet. So it needs some sort of address for it to talk to get an IP address. So that's what the broadcast address is going to be used for. Another example of where a broadcast address is being used is if a computer has an IP address but can't find another PC in the network, it will send out a broadcast of, "Hey, I'm looking for this PC. I can't find it. Can you help me?" It will use that address as a broadcast to find out what the IP address, or typically it's usually it has the MAC, but it needs the IP address. So that's the reason why we need a broadcast address inside a network. Now, the magic rule of 256. So let's just do an example, something like a quiz question kind of thing. So in this sentence here, find the broadcast address for 172.16.20.19 that has a subnet mask of 255.255.240.0. First thing to take note of is take a look at the 255s. What that will mean is that these octets will stay the same. Now let's take a look at this 240. This 240 is interesting. This is where the 256 rule comes into play. So let's just write out 256, 240, and let's just do some subtraction here. So it's going to be 6, it's going to be 1, it's going to be 0. So what this means is that the 16 is an important number because we are focusing on the third octet, just like the third here. So here we have 20. The number that we've gotten here, the magic number here, is 16. So what we need to do is have a number that's just greater than this number here. But it has to go up in multiples of 16. So let's add another 16. That's going to get to 32. We're happy with 32. So then we subtract it by 1, and it's 31. Now we have all the information we need to know to write out our broadcast. I'm going to put in that 31 right here. And it's going to be 255. Now that is our broadcast address. Now if we add one more, excuse for my chicken scratch of writing, that's going to be the next network. If we subtract 1 from this guy, this is going to be the last available host in the network in question that we've been working with. And that's it. That's how you find out your broadcast address using the rule 256. I'll do a summary at the end, so don't worry about it. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, next question. Now, what makes this a little bit different? We still have an IP address. You'll always be given that. The difference is we're using CIDR notation instead of just a subnet mask. So the way to break it out, the simplest way, is kind of break it out by what 29 represents in bits. So we have there's always 8 bits in each octet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 plus 8 is 16. So we're at 16 so far. Let's do another 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 24. So let's do that. So now that we have 24, you see how we have 29 here? So we'll be going 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And so let's go back here. So there's 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And now the left, now the rest has to be zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This represents the hosts in the network. This represents, the number of subnets, but that's for a different video. What's important next is what do these digits represent? So what they represent is 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. Okay, I did it. Sometimes you can get it mixed up and but just repeating it, you just memorize it from heart. And so what we want to do is we want to add up all the ones that are all the ones. Now, if you got really good math abilities, you can do that in your head. That's great. For me, I don't. So I'll go the easy way. The easy way is look at this here. See, 4 plus 2 plus 1. So that's 5, 6, 7. So what I do is I go 255 minus 7, and that's 248. Okay. So now that we have 248, just checking. I just did it in my head, so I just have to check my phone here. Yeah, 248. So it's 248. So now we'll do the magic roll, 256 minus 248. Now we'll just do some math here. So 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. 10, 9, 8, 9, 8, 7. Doesn't seem right. 256 minus 248. Yeah, 8. Okay, so that's just 8. So 255 minus 248 is 8. So just like the last example, this is a little bit trickier because we're focused on this guy here. So we're focused on the last octet, and the reason why is, again, it's 29. And so this was 8 here. So 8, 16, 24. So that means that this won't change, this won't change, this won't change. Okay, so there we go. So we're playing with the 30. So the question now is 30. How many times does 8 go into 30? Okay, so what you can do is you can just go like this. 8 plus 8 is 16, plus another 8, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 24, and then another 8, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So we're at 32. So then what you do is you just subtract this by 1, and you get 31. All right. So then all the broadcast address is then 167.53.67.31. Now, if you think I'm crazy, let's let's go to subnetting practice. A good place to practice taking the different questions. So what are we at here? We're at 167, 53, 60, let's see, 67, 30, and it was a subnet to CIDR 29. And as you can see, 167.53.67.31. So yeah, let's get back into from current slide. So let's summarize this, shall we? So we got to convert. Most of the time, you'll be getting them into CIDR notation because they want to play with you. So they don't want to make it easy, right? If they made it easy, everybody could do it. So you got to convert it from a 29 into a subnet mask that is of what we did in this example, where we converted it to the subnet mask, like 248 or exact something like this, right? And then find out what's the number you got to subtract from 256. Next, you got to subtract the 256, right, with the octet. That's what we're just talking about. And once you figure that out, remember how many times does it go into the octet in question? Remember, it has to be greater than the example. So we found that it was 8. So how many times 8 goes into 30, but one more than 30? And we found out that was 32. Then we just subtracted by 1. That's it. So those are the ways on how to find out the broadcast address, and that's it. That's how to find the broadcast address. And this is Cisco with Kyle.